Hello and welcome back and welcome to the very first of the official Craft Your Stash shows this week. Oh my goodness me, are we super excited for this and so privileged to be launching the first one of these shows. They're going to be a little bit different. It's going to be all about you. It's going to be about you and your products and what you've got, whether you're using it, whether you're not, whether you want to be using it and you're not quite sure how. Yep, you get all those questions in. It is good. We want it to be so interactive with yourselves out there. So please, you lovely crafters out there in Crafty Land, all over the world, because I know you're all over the world, please fire your questions in. And I've got lovely Rachel on the socials waiting to send them over to me. So it's going to be super, super exciting. What a Monday we are going to have. Now, I've already mentioned it's going to be all about soft crafts and bag making. So luckily, as you can see, there's no sewing machine in sight on my side. Not a sewing machine, not a needle, not a thread. Come back, you. It's Becky. Hello. Oh, you're the expert today.
I am the expert today. Yes. Bags. Actually, we did say in the break, maybe you should be making some paper bags as well.
Could do.
do.
Yeah.
But you have bag off, yes. I'll make a paper one, you make a paper one, I make a stitched one, you make a stitched one.
Know who's going to win that one, don't we?
Probably not me.
It's going to be really good fun, isn't it? She's gone.
Yeah,
she's gone. You're on to the next bit then, weren't you?
I was just going to go and get the glitter paste pieces that I'd dried, because they'd all dried up now.
I've just noticed the floor's very clear.
I have tidied up in between shows because everything was on the floor, and yeah, it's a little bit of a hazard, is what I would say it is. So I have tidied up.
It's not now.
It's not. It's very tidy now.
It is very. It looks very organised. Your trolley looks very organised.
Thank you.
I'm quite impressed.
Thanks. Yes. It feels a little bit like, you know, when you're a teenager and your mum goes, "Have you tidied your room?" And you go, "I have," and they go upstairs and they're like, "Oh, actually, it's all right." And hope they don't open the doors.
I used to say, my house, my rules, I'm going in with a black bag if it's not sorted in 5 minutes.
Oh, really? Oh, you're harsh.
I am.
I don't think I've ever done that.
My kids now, the kids that have left home, are so tidy.
Really? Yeah,
You've still got a chance, love.
It's not my kids. It's not my kids, it's me. It's me. I'm terrible. It's because I have so many different things on the go at any one time and I get really bored. So I might be like making a cake and then I go, oh, I wonder if might make something with some resin. So I go upstairs and I go get all my resin stuff out and then I get a bit bored with that and then I'll come back downstairs and I'll put some washing on. And so just all around the house there are partially done things everywhere. The dog does need to follow me around with a bin bag, yeah. Yeah. Or I just think, just have somebody just to follow me around generally.
Yeah, I'll come and follow you around with a bin bag and get you sorted.
Oh, I can imagine.
Are you scared?
It'll look like... or like I'm going to be extreme hoarders when Corrine comes to my house. Yeah, come to my house and tidy it up. That would be brilliant. Excellent. That's a show in itself.
My husband thought I was pregnant and nesting last week.
Really?
Everything, cupboards, the whole lot. He had to get in the recycling bin twice to flatten it because there was that much stuff in there. He had to climb in and jump really hard because the lid wouldn't go down. Yeah, cleared everything.
Excellent.
The cupboards are like, wow.
I have to just say that in the house that we all share, Corrine's brought this whole thing up with her because she's gone through all the cupboards, haven't you? Started clearing stuff out. There's a tin of potatoes in their cupboard. It expired in 2020. So Corrine's gone around and organised everything. So it's good. We all need a Corrine in our lives, yeah, basically. Yeah. We're very lucky here.
Yeah, my craft room's a mess, but the rest of my house is tidy. There we go. Okay, we digress. We want to know what anything you want to know, please send it our way, not your way. We have still got Nicola and James. I was getting there, just forming the words. I hadn't forgotten. Nicola says he's crying in the corner now. I just needed to readjust my mouth. Nicola and James still in the gallery, Rachel on socials, and me and Becky here when she comes up from behind her counter. She's gone again. I'm very worried. I'm going to be asked to do bag making. Just because you took over papercraft last week doesn't mean that I can take over
Did you not
sewing.
hear? Everybody's got to be able to do everything.
Oh,
now.
right.
So them's the rules.
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules,
okay.
yeah.
Right. Oh, there's lots of you watching. We've got Donna Ridgedale Torres. Good morning from San Antonio. Sarah Brown. Is she still here from Melbourne? It's now 1 a.m. She knows what I'm like. She sends me a running commentary of the time. I hope you're well. I hope Tuesday morning is looking good for you, Sarah. Vanessa says good morning, everyone from Florida. Renee, is in from Minnesota. Betty Weaver from Idaho. Lynn Blackledge is in from Isle of Wight. Oh, Shadiah, there you go. I did that too, Corrine, with my kids. I always had a plastic bag. Anything out of order went to the garage in that bag. Boy, are they tidy. Yeah, I know, it works. It works. There we go. Good afternoon, Corrine, Becky and Rachel. Team Social CC team. This is going to be such a helpful week. Looking at the mountain of stash I have buried. Yeah, I know. We all have so much. Lynn says, yes, I'm an extreme hoarder. I think it was 30 years of being a teacher. I'm never wanting to throw away a cereal packet or a jam jar. Yeah, I know. It got to the point where my pantry, every time you opened it, something fell out and I'd smashed a balsamic vinegar dressing and something else because it just sort of fell out. I was like, right, cupboards, yeah, they're going to get sorted. So there we go. Right then, we digress. Becky, what can you tell us about bag making, or what have you got to show us?
So what I'm going to do in this show is, I'm conscious it's a 2-hour show, but it was all about bag making. So I'm actually going to make a bag more or less from start to finish. But I'm also going to show you a few things. So one of the, so generally with bags we often have zips. We might have eyelets. We might have a bag that you turn inside out. We might have a bag that you stitch together. All these different things. So there's a couple of things that I do with regards to zips and all those sorts of things, which I thought I'd share with you, which you might not do. You might find it easier, more complicated the way I do them, but I just thought if this is the opportunity for us to talk about them, and we'll also recap on the whole wadding, batting, the stuff that you put inside your bags as well. So if you are new to bag making, you sort of understand the terminology. So if you've got any questions about bag making, because I'm conscious that bag making is something that sometimes people just haven't had the opportunity to try. We've got a mixture of different things. We've got dies as well as templates. The one I'm going to be doing now is just using a template. So it's easy. You just basically need a sewing machine and some thread and some scissors, and you're all set, really.
Brilliant. This one sounds perfect. Perfect. Jane Farmer says, good afternoon from a wet Stevenage. Nice to see you. You two are so funny. Well, it's friends, isn't it?
Yeah, we try.
We try. Stop looking at me with your... She's got a telescope. And when I'm trying to work, I keep getting looked at with a telescope. I don't need watching with a telescope. It's the world's smallest telescope.
It is. This is my dinner telescope. So I'd said once before that when I'm at dinner and I want to concentrate on somebody, I sometimes go like that, just so I can concentrate on them. And then my daughter's boyfriend said, oh, I found you a telescope. So it's a little evening telescope. I said, it will fit into your evening bag. And in fact, this bag that we make a little bit later, perfect for carrying your telescope with you.
Brilliant.
If you've ever thought, but so I've got a little telescope, and I just
keep watching me with the telescope. It's very, very off-putting. Thank you. I can't even do the words now. You have put me off that much. I am happy you are demoing this, Becky. I bought them all to try in my spare time.
Fantastic.
Spare time. That's a nice concept.
What is
I like
that
concept. Yeah. Sarah Brown, yes, Corrine, Tuesday's looking good. Out to lunch today with a long-time friend from school. We catch up every month. It ends up being a long lunch, of course. Yes, those are the best lunches. I have something to ask you.
Okay.
Did you know
it
is National Black Cat Month?
Ooh. What does that mean?
Well, I don't know. So
I thought you were going to say, so it's awareness, or everyone should have black cats.
Black cats.
Yeah.
We associate with it superstitions and things.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
Ah, okay.
So what, if any, superstitions do you have?
I've got loads, haven't I? Because obviously I would do, because I'm a bit weird. I always tap a can of drink twice before I open it.
Why?
I don't know.
Dispel the evil spirits inside?
No, I think it's to do with when I was a kid, someone said you had to do that, otherwise it would all fizz up.
Yeah.
And I can't not do it. And so whenever I get a can of drink, I tap it twice.
Does it ever spurt at you now?
No.
Never?
No. So I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't know. What about you?
I don't really have many. I would avoid walking under ladders.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I would intentionally do that.
Would you?
Yeah, I would just intentionally go and walk.
No. Apparently, the second most common one is throw salt over your shoulder, and I've never done that.
Oh, no, I have done that, because I regularly spilt the salt over in the cafe.
Is that if you spill it, you've got to throw some over your shoulder?
Yeah, you have to spill it.
Right.
You're spilling. It wards off evil, apparently. I don't know, it irritates the person that's sitting behind you, I know that.
Yeah. I always think about the salt I've then got to clear up. Yeah. I've now got to clear up 2 lots of salt. The salt I spilled and the salt I've thrown over my shoulder. So, no, don't do that. But I won't be, I know I won't be followed around by evil spirits, but...
Well, if you do, they'll be like that, like, oh, it's in my eye!
I don't think I've got any, really. I don't know. I'm not really as superstitious.
Are you not?
No.
I always think that you've got to go with your gut feel. So I think when you go for a job interview or you go and look at a new house or something like that, you get a gut feel and you know whether you're going to get the job or get the house or whether you're going to be happy. I think that's one thing.
Oh, now, a Russian superstition, I've just been informed, if you congratulate somebody on their birthday a day before their birthday, it's bad luck.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
And then the day after, it's just rude.
Yeah.
It's just ignorant, isn't it?
Depends if they bought you a big present or not.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
But part of giving a gift, we're going down another track now, part of giving a gift is getting it there at the appropriate time. In my mind.
Part of giving a gift is getting a really good gift in return when it's your birthday, surely. Do you not think?
I know certain people that don't give gifts, and I give good gifts out of principle.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, make a point. Make a point.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Let's get on.
Right.
Are we going to be looking at your panel of glitter paste?
We are. Very exciting. So here's one I did earlier. And here's one I did even earlier. So this was the one I did yesterday at home, just to see how it doesn't come off.
I like today's better because you've got more gold in.
Yeah. So, but this is one I'm going to use now. This one that I did earlier.
I like that one better.
Mainly because this is the one that you saw me do, and it's completely and utterly, totally and utterly dry. And I've still got those little marks where I put the tape to cut it, because I want to use this as the pocket of my bag. So I'm going to make sure that I've got my my template all laid out in the right place. So just lining that up against here. And I'm going to use my pen. Let's use that.
You're doing your heat erasable. Can you see it on there?
Yeah, if I use the red and I keep an eye on the light, I should be fine. There we go. So you probably can't see that from the camera, but I can see that's okay. So I'm going to use my folding ruler, and I will just line this up on my cutting board to make it a little bit easier as well. Oh,
well,
don't do that and then move it. That is not what you want to do. Okay.
There you go.
There must be quite a few superstitions.
There must be.
People follow.
People have lots of superstitions, don't they? Oh, Nicola's going to give us another one. Go on. Another. Oh, a Mexican one this time. Don't. Ah. If you put 2 mirrors opposite each other, you open the doorway for the devil.
Oh. Oh. Does the devil not know where to go then, unless, we signpost things for them?
Yeah, it does. You do. You get that loop, don't you? It goes back and forth and back and forth. So, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like people having what's the word? Mascots when they have competitions and things like that. There's always that. And I think with sports, there's lots of sort of superstitions, aren't there?
Yes. But, like your lucky pants. If you won once whilst wearing your lucky pants, you have to wear them every single time, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's well, I think you follow what works for you, don't you? Like there's certain like cups of No, I'd always like my tea out of a certain mug. Is that a superstition? It's not because I think something's going to go wrong with me, but I think it just becomes your habit.
It does, yeah.
You have your own mug at the house, don't you?
It's got a C on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a specific mug I drink out of at home.
Yeah.
When we brought back from Portugal when we went over on holiday. Hope he dropped his, but he's not having mine. I still use mine.
Even though it's got the same letter on it.
No. Well, yeah. This is a nice blue mug. It's really pretty. Yeah, I always drink out the same mug at home. Always. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
How you do these things. Phil Watson says, Becky, it's not a good idea to walk under a ladder. They may drop the tin of paint. Yeah,
it's very true. But it's almost like I'm tempting fate.
You want to prove it. You want to be the exception that proves the rule, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, says Tess. So excited for soft crafting today. Love the fun and energy today. There you go. Just there we are. Michelle McCarthy. Hi, Michelle. You got home all right then this morning? Bless her. She was left at 7. I didn't hear her go this morning. I hope your trains were all right, love. She just tuned in to see a peeping Becky. You don't say that very often, do you?
No. Peeping Becky.
Obviously, her trains ran to time if she's home and got the TV on already. That's good.
I love the fact that she comes home from work and watches us on the TV. On work, yeah, I think it's good.
That's
right,
good.
so what I've done here is I've got some lining fabric and I've got my panel, which I've just cut. So this is my pocket panel, which you can just see down here is that pocket that goes there and that space. And I want to stitch along here and then we're going to fold it over.
Brilliant. Tess just asked, did you use the glitter paste and stencil on this fabric?
Yes.
That was this morning's show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to just have a look, but it was in Wake Up Call, Becky just put this glitter paste on this morning just to show us that it could be done. And then, like you say, it's nice and dry now for her to use it today.
And whilst we say, you know, we're giving it a whirl with the glitter glue, I wouldn't say I've tested it in the rain or anything like that. So if you probably want to try it, and then you can get a spray. I cannot remember what it's called, but you can get a spray that you can spray over glitter when they put glitter on fabric. So if you just put glitter on fabric with wood glue, for example, obviously that's water-based. You could, in theory, then put some spray over the top of it, which would then make it sort of fast. And I think you could do the same thing with this glitter paste, but I haven't tried it out. But this is more of like a fun thing to do rather than necessarily being particularly, something that you can wear out in all weathers. I think is probably the fairest way of saying it. Right, so I'm just not happy with that seam. I'm just going to stitch that down a little bit more over here. It's quite nice to have the opportunity to make something from start to finish, actually, which we rarely get the opportunity to. It is like a craft along, isn't it? Which is a superstition?
Never stick your chopsticks straight up.
Oh
is another one.
It's supposed to be a sign of death, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, you never do that. You've got that. So when you eat, you lay your chopsticks down to the side until you've finished eating, but you would never stick them upright in a bowl of anything.
No, that would just not be right, would it?
No.
You can seal glitter with PVA glue. I'm checking up on this. You can seal it. I think it says with hairspray, but I think that's almost like
that's a temporary fix.
Temporary, yeah. That's a sort of,
And that's more for if you'd use glitter glue. Well, if you'd use glitter with some glue, hairspray would work. But because this is already, let's be honest, it's not moving, it's not budging. That's a sort of slightly different thing. So we've got that panel. We just need to give that a little bit of a trim and get rid of all those bits and pieces. But what we have over here is a smorgasbord of pieces. Ooh. So what we have is we've got a piece of lining fabric over here. That's our side panel, and I've already cut those little eyelet holes in. I've got 2 of those, so 2 of the lining, which we're going to put to one side. We've got 2 of the outer pieces. Oh, I need to do some eyelet cutting just in there. Just need to do 2 more eyelets in there. So there's those 2 for the outer pieces. We've got a base panel in the lining fabric and a base panel in the outer fabric. Then we have 2 pieces of the main panel in the lining fabric, like that. And then we've got 2 pieces in the outer fabric with the eyelets cut out of them as well. So we're going to put those all to one side and we'll start working our way through. I've also, down here, I've cut a strip of fabric and I've just stitched it along. So this is going to be the piece that gets threaded through all those eyelets. So that's just a piece of fabric which is the whole width of the fabric, so 40 inches. And just 2 inches wide, and it's folded over into the middle and then into each end over the other side, so you can create that nice little strip. So similar to this piece, so this piece is shorter, but the same sort of thing. This is actually 4 inches wide, and what I've done is I've folded it in half and ironed it, and then I've taken each edge and I folded it to the middle point like that. It's basically the same thing I did with this, but just a smaller piece, and then fold it over like that, and then we're going to stitch down both sides, and that's going to create the strap that we're going to use on the bag. So we'll do that in just a second. So I'm just going to make sure it's in the right place.
I think I've worked out that for a professional looking sewing project, you need an iron.
You need an iron, yeah,
key,
absolutely.
isn't it? I think that's the one thing that sort of strikes me after watching you do your sewing projects here. You've got to have an iron on the go at all times.
You do, absolutely. And when I was doing my Facebook Lives the other week, I didn't have an iron because I only had one of those massive, I've got one of those steam generator irons at home, and I had a small travel iron at home, and it'd been damaged. So I was like, oh, I can't really take that, and I can't take the big one upstairs. So I didn't have an iron on one of my craft-alongs, and actually, or for one of my Facebook Lives. And actually, you're absolutely right. You need to be ironing all the time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stitch along here, and I'm going to stitch down there, and that's going to create that little strap.
Yeah, we've just had a question from Rhonda saying, Becky, will you be having your Facebook Live show this week?
I will be, yep.
Brilliant. Is that 5 o'clock Friday?
5 o'clock Friday, yeah.
And Wednesday?
Yeah, 5 o'clock
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. Wednesday. I will be wearing... I'm just going to have to fix this. This has gone
Tess didn't see our earlier show, unfortunately. She must be in Central in US because it was 5 a.m. and she didn't get up quite that early. Oh, we'll let her off.
Yeah,
that's
I think
forgivable.
so.
So she's going to watch it back on replay. Rachel on social, she says, it's the one thing you need an iron for. None of this using it for clothes stuff. No. I've discovered, this is random, this is going way off, I've discovered these special little pegs that go on my washing line, and they remind me of the teddy bear pegs my grandma used to have years ago, and they've got 3 prongs. You put them on your washing line, they've got a hole in the bottom, and you hang your coat hangers in them. So you can hang your coat hangers on the washing line and they can't blow off. I hang all my clothes up on coat hangers on the washing line. I get no creases, no washing. I give them a good shake, put them on there, nothing needs ironing.
That is clever.
I used to iron underpants.
Yeah.
That's what I was at. I'd iron all my towels, all my underpants, everything. And now, if I iron maybe once a month.
Really? That's impressive.
Yeah, put everything on the velvety coat hangers.
Yeah.
Use the little strings if you've got them, but put them on the washing line, on these special pegs that hold your coat hangers on the washing line, and then the wind blows all the creases out, and I don't have to iron.
Oh, I like that idea. I hate
really
ironing.
Really good.
It's not my thing. I like doing it.
Full of useful information.
Well, I don't have a fancy iron. I don't do my ironing. I get my husband to do it. Tim's fancy iron. It is quite. I mean, it does make short work of things. It's very quick, but I don't enjoy ironing.
No.
I like washing. I like cleaning the bathroom, and I like cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah, it's something satisfying about that, isn't there? Lynette says, don't turn the page on a calendar until the 1st or it's bad luck. My mum used to go mad if I put, you know, when you get your calendar, you often get a calendar for Christmas. You're not allowed to put your calendar on the wall before the 1st of January.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's a superstition, but my mum used to tell me off. Yeah.
What if it's like a, you know, like one year I got Harry Styles calendar, and I needed to look at every picture because I needed to decide when my favourite month was going to be.
You can look at the calendar, just don't hang it up. You mean you can even write on it, but just don't put it up.
Yeah, but...
No, it wasn't don't look at it, it says don't turn the page. So it means that if you've got it on the wall on the 30th of the month, don't turn it over to the 1st so that it's on the right page when you get up. Do it when you get up the next morning. That's what it means. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Rhonda says when it comes to a great iron, just remember you get what you pay for. There you go.
Yeah.
Shadai wants to know what month my birthday's in. We have the same behaviours. All my washing are on hangers and hang to dry in the basement. I hate the dryer. I'm an April, I'm an Aries. Apparently my husband says I am an Aries. Yeah, very
Does it mean
controlling.
you're stubborn? Does it mean you're stubborn? Doesn't it, Aries?
Can be, yeah. But like to be in control. Not being in control panics me something rotten. I don't mean controlling people. I like to be in control of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I feel out of control, so if I can, I'm like, you know, if I need to do X, Y, and Z, but Fred down the road is stopping me from doing it because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred, he's a pest. It's nothing I can do. It's out of my control. Don't like it. Yeah.
So I think I'm a typical Gemini.
Which is?
Two-faced.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm worried now.
I'm very scatty, can't settle with anything, all over the place, high energy. High energy, competitive and ambitious, well, yeah.
That's Aries.
Aries. I think I'm quite competitive, and I don't think, it's never very good when Corrine and I are both doing play your crafts right. So.
Oh, play your crafts right makes my tummy bubble.
Does it?
Oh, makes my tummy bubble.
With excitement?
No nerves.
Oh, no.
Because I'm competitive and I like to
win.
Not to win, but to do well.
I get really angry when I
yes or
don't win. Yeah, I'm not very calm when I don't win. I'm going to trim this book. I think I like to win. So what is a Gemini? What do I get as a Gemini?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I think that's a fair thing to say because I do feel that I think that's why I've got knowledge about loads of different things, but not any major knowledge.
You're also expressive and quick-witted.
Ah.
Yeah, you can. What was it you said? You were talking about something the other day, and yeah, you're quick to not throw people off, but make a joke. We'll talk about that. I remember which one we're talking about. You react quick, but then you do usually laugh. You do usually laugh.
Do you remember I said, you know, I wondered whether I'd be here for the rest of the show, and maybe you could do the show. Now I'm thinking.
No.
I'm wondering what I said now. But who knows what I said?
You're quick, and you come up with answers. Like if you say something, you'll go, no, it wasn't me. and then you burst out laughing. Yeah.
You're probably right. Right. Immature. I'm not immature. How rude. Right. So here's my front panel of my bag. So you can see I've already got my holes for my eyelets, and I've got my little pocket. I'm going to stitch down the side of this, and I'm just doing. Now, actually, no, I'm not even going to stitch. Do you what? I'm not going to stitch. I'm going to use glue because,
okay.
like I said to you before, I like a bit of glue. I think textile glue is really useful, and I tend to use it instead of lots of sort of pinning and things like that. What I want to do is I want to put these two pieces together so they don't move around. But I'm actually going to stitch the side panels on anyway, so I only really need just to get it stuck here. So what I can do is I could just run a little bit of glue down either side, like this. I do love.
So you don't need to turn this inside out and then turn it back the other way.
No, it's not that kind. It's not that kind of bag at the moment. So this is just the seam. This is just the pocket. So I'm just going to stick that there, and that's just going to hold it together, rather than me doing what in the instructions, it tells you to do some tacking or some large stitching. But I like a bit of glue. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue down here.
I know we're not going to wash this bag because you put glitter on it,
Yeah.
but potentially if we were to wash it, that glue would be all right once it's dried and set.
Well, it doesn't matter because it's going to be stitched.
Ah, right.
So this is holding it together.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of the glue, and when I put a zip in, I always use glue rather than pins. I think it's better.
Okay.
So next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the side panels on. So I'm going to put this side panel here, like that. And stitch down
now
there.
I see how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the same with the other side panel over here. I just need to cut a couple of holes in here using the eyelet some pieces just
Which
here.
you used your stencil to mark where they need to go.
So you can see here, you see
it.
those little dots just here? And so when I put the stencil over the top of this here, I've got these little holes and I've just, there, these little holes, and I've just marked them there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use this to make the little hole in here. And then I'll just trim that little bit away. So that's going to create those little holes to put the eyelets into in a moment.
Oh, brilliant.
So we'll put that down here, and I'm going to pin this together now. So I'm actually capturing the lining of the pocket, the outside of the pocket, and the front panel of the bag with that side piece as well.
We're 4 layers there then, aren't we?
Yeah.
You don't need to change your needle on your sewing machine?
No, I mean, ideally, every time you start a new project, you should really be changing the needle. Does anyone? I don't. But it probably.
Does anybody?
I don't think they do. I think it's it's a little bit like when people say when they go running. Every time you go running and you run more than a marathon, you're supposed to change your trainers. But I don't think people do.
No, it's 500 miles on a pair of running shoes.
No, it should be after you've done a marathon, you should change your trainers.
Is that superstition?
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe.
Because you're supposed to have like about 500 miles in a pair of running shoes.
Well, that means my trainers are going to last me from the ages of like 7 until the age of like 94, I reckon.
I remember getting a pair of running shoes and being told you got 500 miles in them.
Well, maybe, I don't know, I thought it was every time you did a professional run, or maybe it is right, because by the time you've actually done that marathon, you've done a lot of training, a lot of miles, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my husband for ages, so my husband runs often, and he weirdly, occasionally does a half marathon before work.
Yeah. Oh, just like that before work?
Yeah.
Like you do?
Yeah, and
most of us go for a coffee.
He was, I'm built for lying on the sofa, not for running. And I said to him, why don't you change your trainers? He was like, oh, my Achilles is painful, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't talk like that, but he does when I pretend I'm him. And no, I don't need any new trainers. Anyway, someone else said to him, why don't you change your trainers? And he thought, that sounds like a good idea. And he put some new trainers on, and he was like, my goodness, it's amazing. It's a huge difference.
It is.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, I did tell you this. I did say.
Yes, but when your wife tells you something,
yeah, I know.
the same as when your husband tells you something, or my husband tells me, it makes no difference, does it?
No.
Yeah, Rhonda says, I only change the needle when I notice that it's not sewing very nicely.
Yeah.
We've got so many comments on star signs. So our Rachel says, I'm a Libra. It takes me forever to make a decision and usually involves pros and cons lists. I like a good pro and con list. Shadiah, I'm a Scorpio and like to be in control of me, not anyone. Yeah. Susan Griffiths, Corrine, I share the same characteristics. I have to be in control of whatever I do. Aries, fire sign, short-tempered if not following my own plans due to interferences. Yeah, there we go. Rhonda, the traits for men and women are different within each of the zodiac signs. There you go. There we are. They're trying to look that up at the moment.
So what I'm now, so you can see here, that's my outside of my bag. Can you see with the little pocket?
Yeah.
So you've got your 2 side panels, and now we want to attach the outer panel. So we're going to do that in the same way. So we're just going to attach it over here on this side, and then we're going to attach it there. So we're going to basically make a tube. Yeah.
Tube.
A tube.
Does your fabric have a front and a back, or is it totally double-sided?
Does my
blue fabric have a front and a back?
No, it doesn't. No, just plain, ordinary cotton. And actually, to be honest, it could have done with some wadding in it, something with a bit of stiffness in it. But actually, it's quite difficult. It becomes quite difficult. It's easier to show you when I'm making up, when I'm only using a single layer of fabric. If I was actually making this at home, I would probably be putting some wadding with this, and what I would do is I'd cut the wadding the same size as all these pieces, and I would adhere it with some of our stick and stay spray.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick that to the outer fabric, and then I would do the same with interfacing and the lining fabric, so everything's got a bit of structure to it. I think that particular bag lends itself to being quite structured, but if you're going to be using the other one, like the the drawstring, what's the other one called? The drawstring shoulder bag.
Yeah.
It's much more slouchy.
Right.
And so I would not be putting anything in that one.
So are you going to do interfacing on the lining of
No,
this?
I'm not doing any interfacing or any wadding. I'm literally just using the fabric for this one to show you. But like I say, if I was doing it at home and I was doing it to give to somebody, I would be putting more structure into the bag.
Right. Can I just say something that scares me? Why are you using a white thread on a blue bag?
Why? Because it shows
Couldn't
up
I have
better.
asked you that question?
Because it shows up better on the screen.
Ah, right, fair enough then.
And because I brought white thread with me.
Fair enough.
I don't, again, doing it at home, use blue thread, but I think when you're seeing it on screen, you can't really see what I'm doing if I'm not doing it like that.
I get that. That does make actual total sense.
Makes it sound, well, I mean, often I just use whichever thread we've got, because often the thread is sort of quite brightly coloured and don't tend to match up, when we're doing things like this, just because it's I use what we have to hand. But I think being able to see how we're stitching and how far it is quite handy rather than trying to match it up. But yeah, definitely match up your threads at home. So when talking about superstitions, when my mum's just moved house, but she lived for a while with her brother, and they were trying to sell the house that they were living in, and it had fallen through, and so they did adopt a kind of feng shui kind of way of dealing with things. So we had to put something almost like a wish into a red envelope and drop it into some fast-running water.
All right.
And they did do that, and then they did have an offer the next day.
Wow.
But who knows whether that was true. So now we've got like a tube. So you can see here, got a tube. That's the outside. And then we've got our bag base, which we're going to pop down here. Now the base is going to pop like that around here. And we're just going to pin it. Or you could glue it if you wanted to, but you could only really glue one side at a time and have to leave it to dry for a few minutes. We could glue it, and we're going to stitch all the way around the outside. We're going to do the same with the lining fabric. Obviously, it's not got a pocket, but you could put a pocket in there, but we're going to leave a gap of about that big in the lining so we can turn everything out.
Right, yes.
And give birth to the bag.
Give birth to the bag?
Give birth to the bag.
Is that the technical term or is that the Becky term?
I don't know who said that. It was not. It's not mine. I can't take full the accolade for that. Somebody else said about birthing a bag. It might have been John Scott.
All right.
Do you think it is a John Scott saying? Yeah, birthing a bag. So we're just going to pin around the edge. Like I say, if you wanted to use glue, you absolutely could do that just to secure it in place. We're going to stitch it together anyway, but it does take a little bit of time for it to dry, which I don't really want to, well, not even dry, but just, you can stitch it when it's still tacky, but you'll end up with a bit of glue on your fingers, and then you might get it on the outside of the bag, so it's better just to do it with pins around here.
I don't know if I read it earlier.
Clips.
Annie L said, love, did I say, love Craft Your Stash shows. Thank you, Becky and Corrine. Oh, it's a pleasure.
Well, I think it's really good because we all do the same thing. You buy the things and then you get waylaid by the next thing that comes out, and you suddenly think, oh, hold on a minute, I think I've got this.
Is it tomorrow, Nicola, that Leanne's coming in to do the inky ones?
We've got glue school tomorrow.
Oh, glue school tomorrow. Debbie Fisher's doing it.
Glue school is going to be really interesting because I think there's so many different types of glue, and I found it quite confusing when I started, the different types of adhesive that we do. Do you do?
That we do?
We do.
Do we do it?
Do you do?
Very good. I want to see the ink one. I mean, I love my inks. It's just picking up those extra little hints and tips and think. I'm trying to remember what we did, and I don't know whether James can remember. I told Michelle a way to do something over the weekend, and it blew her mind, and I can't remember. It was something really simple. It was a really simple trip. And I can't...
You don't remember what it was, Corrine?
No. What one was it? Michelle's watching. What was it, Michelle? And she did something I did, but it was... She said I said, oh, why don't you do it that way? And she's like, wow. Never thought... But it's just, you know how you do things, and we all do things differently.
Yeah.
That was right. She was making the box, and I said flatten it, because it was a tube. That was what it was. That was what it was. Can you remember, James? Oh, you were out on the floor, weren't you? I forgot, yeah. She was doing her box, and it opened out into a wallet.
Oh, yeah.
And she was putting something on, and I said, well, why don't you flatten that down? To put a clasp on. That was what it was. Yes, I remember. There we go. It's amazing what you... There you go. But we all do little things, and sometimes you can see things, and you think, oh, why don't you do it that way? Yes. Yeah. There we go. Oh, Lou White says you give birth to quilts as well.
Sorry, say that again.
You give birth to quilts
Give birth to quilts, yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is fun. This is terminology.
Yeah.
Cindy Dotty says, every time I hear wadding on CTV, I need to think, oh, yes, you mean batting.
Yeah.
To me, the word wadding means to scrunch up paper, like before I throw it away.
Oh, okay.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so wadding is the term we use in the UK more often. I mean, you will still hear batting, but wadding is the word when I was a child, and we'd make, perhaps my mum would be making like some sort of very heavy quilted coat or something, we'd always use wadding, but batting is the US phrase, but it's exactly the same stuff.
Michelle's still watching. She said it blew her mind. She's laughing. She was there and it was all wibbly wobbly. I said, flatten it. And it did, it worked. It worked lovely. Wanda Sexton says, I'm a bit of a rebel when sewing. We're all rebel when we're doing our own crafts. I believe in using what I have, and I'm too busy to change my needle unless it's necessary. Broken is necessary. I use old thread and old fabric. I recently discovered how valuable my light pad is. Brilliant. This is what we would like to know. As I have a translucent cutting mat that fits over it.
Ooh.
Oh, how brilliant. It's as big as my glass mat, and that's a game changer for making sure I'm lined up.
That's a great
love that.
idea. Yeah.
A clear cutting mat. You're going to be hunting for one of those now,
I
aren't
am. And in fact, somebody did say on the Sewing for Crafters Companion page about, actually it wasn't, I think it was a message about having a pattern to make a cover or like a little bag for the light pad. So I'm going to have a play with that and I'll work something out. Obviously, I'm going to need a light pad to take home.
Oh, we'll talk to Tracy.
Just saying.
Just talk to
saying,
Tracy.
yeah.
Here we go. This is a really specific superstition. And it's come from Amelia Soroco. To sell a house in Chicago, you bury a small statue of St. Joseph upside down.
Oh, okay.
She was digging in a garden and found one.
Oh.
Just a bit like your mum with the red envelope.
And did she sell the house?
No, she was obviously...
Oh, she was the buyer.
Buying a house.
Ah.
There you go. Anyway, I've got a nice one for you, a really nice one from Susan. Learning needlecraft at school, we had to tack everything before using the sewing machine. It was one of the things that put me off needlework. Anyone having Becky as a tutor today is so lucky. There you go. Isn't that nice?
Aww.
I like that. Thank you, Susan.
Fuzzy inside.
We really appreciate that. How lovely is that?
Yeah, that is nice.
There you go. Thank you for all your comments. It's lovely. Keep them coming.
I want to know more superstitions.
Oh, Nicola's got another one.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
for it,
Go on,
Nicola.
Nicola.
Tell us that. So if you receive a set of knives for Christmas, you have to give the person who gave you them a coin in return. Because giving anything with a blade supposedly severs a relationship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you gave me knives as a Christmas present, I'd probably be quite happy to sever that relationship. It's not high on my Christmas list, is a set of knives, but you never know.
Very useful.
Very useful. Christmas presents aren't about use.
No, they're about frivolities, aren't
Yeah,
they?
Christmas presents are about frivolities. That's the word.
My father-in-law gave my mother-in-law a tease made many years ago as a Christmas present, and she was so angry she didn't talk to him the whole of Christmas, and she was just like, well, it was such a it wasn't something you wanted as a present, I think, is what you want. No, the way you would look at it. And I think one year he bought her a kettle. One year it was a what's the thing called? An iron. They're not present. They're not presents. Any kind of domesticated item is not a present.
A domesticated appliance is not a present.
No.
No. Nicola and I both want teas made. I want, it's that you wake up on a morning and there's your cup of tea ready. Yeah, the alarm goes off. If you drink it, boom, coffee. I don't drink coffee, but yeah.
But I think it was really, back in the sort of 70s, it was a big thing, wasn't it? 80s.
Oh, I remember.
The teas made.
I remember
how did the milk keep? Back then, milk was only full fat.
You see, no one in our family ever has milk in the drink.
Really?
No one does. My grandma, I remember staying at my grandma's, and why was I sleeping in their bedroom? I don't remember. But my grandparents had twin beds and the teas maid was in the middle. And I remember sleeping in one bed and the teas maid. She didn't make it for me then, but yeah, it was like the height of sophistication.
Yeah.
I think we bought that for their ruby, it was their ruby wedding anniversary present off us all.
With eternal bow crockery inside it. Do you remember eternal bow?
No.
Ah, cream coloured with like a pink bow going all the way around it, ribbon. It was like
on the inside or on the outside?
On the outside. It was so iconic. They were kind of like angular, eternal bow. It is just the most iconic crockery. Everybody had it at some point.
Ooh, $4.99 for what? Oh, for 6 plates. Of eternal bow. I thought you meant teas made, Nicola. $4.99. I was going to say, sign me up. Oh, it's 1 plate. There you go.
But do you remember the gold blend advert, and they had those green cups?
Yes.
Do you remember those?
Yes.
And my brother really liked them, and he had a set of green cups with gold. I think it was gold. Was it
like a gold trim.
Gold trim around it. And then we only had one, and my daughter's now got it. She says she loves to have her coffee in it. She's so retro.
Nice. That's nice. I had a phase of collecting old china.
You had a what?
A phase of collecting old china.
Oh, yeah.
And it used to go on our Welsh dresser. We went on holiday. When we came back, the power had turned off and the freezer had not turned back on, so the freezer had been off for the 2 weeks we were away.
Yeah.
Imagine it was not very nice. So the floor all needed cleaning because it'd all run out.
Yeah.
So I went off to the supermarket and left hubby and son doing that. And I walked back in with all the shopping, and as I opened the door, hubby went, "No, stay there." Well, if somebody goes, "No, stay there," in the voice it was, you run in to see what was there. Welsh dresser on the side, and the water had run underneath. And logically, if you need to move the Welsh dresser, you'd empty the plates first.
Yes.
No. He pulled the Welsh dresser, it had slipped, and then it had gone on the floor, on the nasty bits that come out the freezer, so the whole Welsh dresser had gone,
no,
and then back, and all my china fell off. Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
It didn't take long because I just called up an eBay sale of a job lot of vintage china, and it cost him a lot of money, and I went and bought it that afternoon. So
did you used to watch Changing Rooms?
With the
Do you remember that classic one with the teapots?
Teapots on the shelves.
So anyone that doesn't know, Changing Rooms used to be like a home.
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Yeah, a home sort of makeover programme, and where lime green.
MDF.
Yeah, MDF and lime green was the thing. No, but it was back in the 90s, wasn't it? And this woman had been collecting teapots for most of her life. They made these suspended shelves, and the suspended shelves collapsed with all of her teapots. And I don't think it was they weren't worth loads of money, but it was the fact that she'd been collecting them for such a long time. And her face, she was just devastated.
She was, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I love that show because what they did was they get 2 contestants and swap them, and then they give them a famous designer. Oh, I don't think I ever watched that programme and saw something that I would have been prepared to have in my house. I think they must have had a brief that
make it as disgusting
garish
as possible, yeah.
Yeah,
There were
absolutely.
quite a few where people are like, what have you done to my home? Kind of thing. Right, so we've done the same thing here, so as we did with the other bag. So this is our lining that we've got here, and we want to create the bottom of the bag, but we want to leave a gap. So I'm going to mark that with my heat erasable pen. I want quite a big gap here, so I can turn everything through. And then I'm going to put it together in exactly the same way as we put together the bottom of the other bag.
Brilliant, brilliant. Talking about light pads, Tess has one. She says, I love my new Crafter's Companion light pad too. It's lightweight and wonderful for vinyl weeding. I like it has 3 light levels too. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it, having 3 light levels. I had one on Saturday or Sunday in here, and yeah, and that was another one. Michelle loved that. I'm surprised she hasn't ordered it yet. And how you could shine through, and we've got acetate down, like pattern acetate, and showing how you could draw onto multi-purpose card the pattern off your acetate, so that you know everything matched. It looked lovely. There you go. Superstitions.
Yep.
Oh yes, about coins. Never give a purse. This is a UK purse. What I don't know what you call them wallets in the US, don't you? As a gift without putting a coin in it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, always, always.
And the coin's got to represent the kind of cost of the bag. So if you've got something like
this is one you've just made up.
Yeah.
This is
so if you've got like
Beckyism.
a Chanel or a Birkin or something like that, you need £1,000 in the bag.
Right.
That's what I reckon.
Is the coin got to be a percentage value of the purse?
Yeah, I reckon. That's what I think. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I think the minimum is £1, isn't there?
Yeah.
Or 50p.
A pound.
Yeah, a
Let's not
pound.
be too cheapskate. Yeah, I just love... Becky just likes to push her luck all the way, don't you, Becky?
Well, it's not long till Christmas now, and I don't want anyone, Mum, or Tim, my husband, or my children indeed, thinking, oh my goodness, we don't know what Mum would want for her birthday or Christmas. So I like to give people lots of options.
Yeah.
I just think...
You're only being fair and kind, aren't you?
I'm just thinking about things. When I used to work, when I used to be a manager of an ice cream shop, when it got to October's salaries, inside everyone's payslip, I used to put a little bit of a note. Remember, it's coming up for Christmas, my birthday, no, my present's coming up. And when it came up to sort of April time, I'd say, remember my birthday's in June, to give them plenty of time to save up money. I was a very popular boss.
I can't believe you used to do that. Bless you. Stephanie Theo's hi. Stephanie, she was our craft along person from Saturday. She said, looks beautiful, whatever Becky is making. We're all about the bags today, Stephanie. I'll have to watch from the beginning later. Please do. She did the glitter paste this morning in this morning show, and now she's turned that into the front pocket for the bag. Please, we're getting, I'm loving it. I'm loving your superstitions. I'm loving all your bits and pieces coming in. But if you have any questions about what Becky's doing, because we are sort of rambling and chatting away, if you have any questions about the bag she's making or any other bags, then please, give us a shout. And she also says, I can't get over how Becky stands to sew.
I've got used to it. It was really hard at first, but yeah, I've got used to it over time. And actually, it's quite weird to sit down and sew now.
Is it? I'm going to say, do you find it easy to sit down and sew?
Yeah, I mean, it's when I worked on other channels and used to sit down to sew occasionally, but not all the time. So it used to vary, and I think it's better to stick with one thing or another. But you get used to it after a while. I can't wear big shoes. I have to wear trainers when I'm at work. Because it's too difficult to wear heels.
That was not nice, Nicola. Apparently she's saying you described the day you wore, apart from the day you wore old lady shoes, which you apparently named them as old lady shoes.
They were old lady, they were horrible shoes.
Why did you wear them then?
I don't know what possessed me. Do you know what? I ordered them and I thought they were like ballet pumps, and I was like, oh, that'll do, they'll be quite useful for work. And I hadn't taken them out of the packaging, and I brought them up here last week, and then I looked at them and I was like, oh, they're like the kind of shoes that, I don't know, that someone not me would wear. And I wore them because I didn't want to wear my trainers, and Nicola went, And I went, I know, they're old lady shoes. and they really were old lady shoes. They were not, I'm not saying old lady shoes are horrible, but they're just not me. I wear a lot of
Were they
heels.
designed for comfort rather than style?
I don't know. I don't even think they were designed. I think they were cobbled together. They were just flung together. They were foul. And they weren't comfortable. My toes really hurt when I left.
So you wore them for the day
I wore them for the day. Yeah, and that's right. They didn't go because I was wearing black tights, so I couldn't wear my trainers. And I did think, I thought potentially you might see my legs. So anyway.
Do you live in Crocs?
Yeah.
Oh, you!
Yeah, you're right, Nicola. I've never seen you out of Crocs. Yeah, my old lady shoes were uncomfortable. Right, so I've stitched around there. Now Nicola's taken the mickey out my footwear. When I first, I have come in occasionally wearing heels, but it's not very clever to wear heels in here because it's dangerous. You should wear flat shoes. Right, so there I've got my lining with the hole, so I can give birth to my bag in a minute. And I've got the outer part of my bag. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'll put them all together, and then I'm going to put the eyelets together. And then we're not far off doing that, and we're going to show you a few techniques with other things like putting zips in and stuff like that. But we're not far off in finishing this.
Brilliant.
So, want to do the break?
Sounds fantastic. And by the way, Rachel, no, I'm not wearing my slippers yet. That's maybe for the next show. That's a later show. There we go. Oh, let's start. I've already borrowed them. Right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a little video. I don't know what it's about yet. It's all about this week's Craft Your Stash. So come back in 3 or 4 minutes.
We have got the most amazing week lined up for you. All week, we're focusing on how to get the most from all of the stuff that you've got in your stash. So every day, we're going to be doing a fantastic Craft Your Stash show. Let's have a look at what we've got in store for you.
Hello, join me on Monday the 2nd of October to Craft Your Stash. We're going to be looking at all things bag making, including bag making dies and bag making templates.
Join me on Tuesday the 3rd for everything you need to know about sticky stuff. We're going to be doing a glue school and covering all of the different adhesives and why you need them in your stash.
Wednesday, you're going to be with me, and I've got an amazing box making 101 planned. So all you're going to need is some cardstock. Now, I find pearl card is easier to work with if you're getting started. You're going to need a scoring board, whether it's your big score, your score master, your ultimate, whatever it is. I want you to have scissors, your tape pen, and a guillotine. That's all you're going to need. Come with an open mind. I've got so much to show you.
Join me on the 5th for everything ink pad. If you've ever wondered, finesse alcohol, finesse waterproof, pigment, water reactive, shimmer, duet, quick dry, what does it all mean? I'm going to help you understand what all of the ink pads do and how you're going to craft them in your stash and make everything a perfect picture of colour.
Join me on the 6th of October, where I'm going to give you a little 101 on our Gemini 2 die cutting and embossing machine. Also going to be covering our scoreboards. I'm going to be covering the enveloper and, of course, a little talk around our fabulous Ultimate Pro and all the amazing things that does too. So I hope you can join me.
Hey guys, I'm so excited about this. Tune in, join in on the 7th of October, where I'm going to be showing you all things foil press. Maybe you want to see a little bit more information and detail as to how you use your foil press stamps. I'm going to show you. Maybe you want to use your Crafter's Companion wafer thin dies. I'm going to show you. Maybe you're going to be foiling your cardstock. I'm going to show you it all and so much more. Come along, tune in, join in. If you've still got it in the box, I want you to get it out of the box. So tune in, join in. We're going to have some fun.
Hi guys, I'm just here to ask you to come and join me for my Craft Your Stash show. It'll be on Sunday the 8th of October at 3 p.m. This is what we're going to be making. I've got a gorgeous little explosion box. I'll just give you a quick peek now. Take the lid off. And of course, it wouldn't be a jam show if we didn't include some mixed media. So I have lots of mixed media products with me, including the stencils, the glitter paste, the gilding wax, the glitter glues, and together with our vintage snowman collection. So hope you can come along for the ride and join me.
So make sure you tune in from Monday the 2nd of October. Trust me, this is a week you are not going to want to miss.
Welcome Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly
What
how
does she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Hello and welcome back. Well, we're cracking on with Becky's bag. So please remember, if you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to get them in. We're loving that. Becky, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. There's just Becky looking over. She's got everything out from under her counter trying to find her eyelets. It's, yeah, and we're supposed to be professional.
See,
There we go.
scatty. Scatty is what I am, scatty.
Are you scatty?
I'm really scatty.
Oh, I don't know. That's not a terminology I'd use for you.
I do.
No.
No, I mean, Jamie that worked here measured me really quickly. He was like, "You're really scatty." Yes, I am. Absolutely. Well, the last week I walked out of here without my phone. Don't know how I thought I was going to be able to drive home without my phone or pay for anything without my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, Nicola had to literally chase me down in the car
Oh
park.
dear, that's not good.
Don't leave, she said.
Oh dear. Right. Oh, interesting. Both are Rachel on the socials and Stephanie both like to sew with no shoes on.
Ooh.
Go on.
What happens if you get a pin in your foot? That's painful. No, I need shoes on. Definitely need shoes on. I wear my slip slops. The slip slop? No, it's a slip slop? Your slippers?
Just
No?
slippers.
Just,
Slippers.
Does no one else call them slip slops?
No, just slippers.
Okay.
That's just you. It's not a big word. It's not got that many letters to need. Your slip slops was actually longer than slippers.
But when you put your slippers on later on, Corrine, you'll be like, yes, slip slops, yeah. It's the kind of noise you make as you go, slip, 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 slip.
It just takes me an hour to find my slippers because the other day my husband was in the computer room and he laughed. He said, "Corrine, come here." I went, "Why?" And he put the outside light on. He went, "Look out there." And there on the decking outside in the rain was my slipper.
Oh.
The dog. The dog.
yeah.
And then my husband spent ages looking for his the other day and he even went, put the lights on outside, went and had it. He said, "No, she's not taking them outside." Next morning I got up and I went, "Oh, they were exactly the same place where mine was, on the decking." Yeah, and she always brings you the slipper of the person that's just come home.
Oh, that's quite
So
sweet,
when I come home, she
isn't
brings
it?
mine. When it's just me, she fetches hers, and when it's Colin, she fetches
But only
his.
one?
Only one. She can't carry. She's only a little dog. You can't carry two.
Oh. Does she know? She just sort of does half a job then. She
Because
could
when
go
she's-
back and get the other one.
No, she doesn't give it to you. She just runs around with it.
I was like, I got your slipper.
So while I'm emptying the car when I get home tonight at 11:15 at night and it's pitch black,
Yeah.
she will be running round the garden, the front and up the street with my slipper in her mouth. Always. I 100% guarantee you that.
That's very true. My dog finds you a toy. You go in, he comes in and he's all excited and he goes, "Woo!" And then he runs off and he finds a toy. And he just looks at you, holds the toy and then runs off. It's almost like, look what I've got. Ha, ha, ha. You haven't got a toy.
No, I don't want one either, thank you. No, if I had to carry it in my mouth. I've got a question for you.
Yep.
Susan Griffiths, she's having problems with her sewing machine because the specialised oil in her sewing machine is running low. And apparently she cannot get it anymore. You can't buy it. What would you do? What would you use? That's a
I
funny
would
face.
like to say, to be honest. I mean, I think I don't even know what kind of oils are used in them. I wouldn't attempt to use any other kind of like household oil. I would contact the manufacturer, and if the manufacturer is out of business, I'm sure you can contact a sewing machine manufacturer, general, like Singer or Brother, and say, you know, that I imagine all sewing machine oils are very similar, and be able to use one of those. But yeah, I wouldn't like to say don't put any olive oil in there, or any you know, garlic olive oil or rosemary olive oil,
or
anything
even
like
oil
that.
for your car, you know. No,
I would, because it wouldn't work.
I'm sure, like you say, I'm sure there is a finite amount of sewing machine oil. I'm sure there is. So get in touch, like you say, Bernina, Singer, all those. Obviously, we don't know from this what your brand of machine is, but even if your machine's not available anymore, get in touch with that manufacturer if they still exist and have a word with them. It is a bit iffy to do something else, but I think, we don't want to be responsible for breaking your machine, Susan. So good luck with that. I'm sorry.
Using your oil on your machine is something we all forget to do. And actually, it's something we should do more regularly. And you should really, you know, every 6 months give it a bit of an overhaul to make sure you get rid of.
Do you oil round the bobbin? Is that where you oil?
It's sort of in the back of the machine, or you might have to do, depending on the type of machine, some of them the front comes off and you might have oil to put elsewhere. It really depends on the kind of machine. But now, with so many machines, they're so computerised, you want to be really sure about where you're putting it. But actually, giving it a bit of a dust taking it apart and dusting underneath where the bobbin is, that's where all those bits of fluff collect. And often that's a problem when you've got a machine, when it's getting sort of gummed up and it's not sewing properly, it becomes an issue. The textile glue that we use does not gum up your machine. So if you are using this and you think, well, actually, that might be a problem, it's not going to be a problem for your machine because it is specially manufactured for that. But I would say, you know, I have to say, I don't think I've oiled my machine for a while, and I really should do, or I should send it away for like a regular service. But yeah, I would speak to, you know, find out from your manufacturer. If not, contact a manufacturer and get some sewing machine oil.
That sounds really, really sensible. I like that. I have to admit, I don't know if I have ever oiled my machine. Doesn't get used a lot these days, but I don't think I've ever done it. But there, that's my bad. Sarah Ibbotson says, Becky, I've been sewing my stash and managed to put the threaders ragdoll together. Ooh. She's now got clothes and just needs to get some some wool for her hair.
Oh, lovely. We need to see a picture of that.
Yes, picture, please.
Send us a picture.
Yes, we'd love to see a picture of that. Yeah. OK, you've paused. I think that means Corrine, shut up.
No, it doesn't. It's just that, no, I can't talk when you're talking. This is the outside of your bag. So this is inside out, and my lining is right way round, OK? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pop the strap inside the bag, and then we're going to put all of this together. So the strap, I want it here, and I'm just going to pop it like that. Is that the right way? Hold on.
Is it effectively on the outside or on the inside?
It's going to be on the inside, just making sure I've got it around the right way. So I'm doing it in the middle here, and I just want a couple of stitches just to hold it together, just up here. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make sure that strap is nice and straight.
Or wouldn't that be annoying?
It would be really annoying, and I'm sure I'll do this around the wrong way because that's just the kind of girl I am. And then we're going to pop that there, like that. And we're just going to do a couple of stitches across here just to put everything together.
Will you not be stitching that across there when you do the lining?
Just wait.
OK, I'm shutting up now, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Shutting up now. I'm sure if I thought it, then somebody else did.
Yeah, you are. We are. It's all going to be contained, but it's a little bit like that. The pocket edge, you know, where we put some glue. You just want to keep it all in place for when you stitch the whole thing together. The last thing you want to do is stitch the whole thing together and realise that that's sort of slipped slightly. And I don't, because it's a strap, I want to make sure I've stitched it down rather than just gluing it like I did with that pocket. So we're just gluing a couple of little stitches across here, right, you know, not even using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, we're just sort of securing it in there. And then when we stitch the whole thing together, that will be encapsulated inside the bag.
Good word.
I know.
Good word.
Well, we were going to try and use as many unusual words as possible, weren't we?
You've had your smorgasbord and you've encapsulated.
Yeah. That's it. We've given up then. That's it.
Ah, you're putting it inside.
So that goes inside like that. So we've got the back there. So now I've got my lining. I want this to be right sides together. So I want to pop this inside here, making sure I don't get it inside the pocket. And then what we will do is we'll match up the seams.
That's so interesting to watch, because I would have put, because you're going to turn it around, I would have put it wrong sides together with the lining on the outside.
It doesn't matter which way, as long as no, so it doesn't. Yeah, your right sides always need to match. Your right sides need to be touching each other. So if you think about when you're sewing anything together, you're always having right sides together when you stitch it. So it doesn't. But it wouldn't matter if you were doing it the other way around. So if the bag was inside out and then you put the lining. Yeah. The bag was the right way around. You put the lining inside out. It wouldn't matter. Right. So as long as right sides are touching. Yeah. So we're just going to match these up. Now you can iron these seams flat. I'm just going to hold them apart like that and then pin them together. Don't worry too much about it. And we're going to stitch it around. So what you find is these eyelet holes are then matching up.
Oh yeah. You know you're doing it right then when the eyelets match up, don't you? And
we're just going to go round, pinning this together.
Would you ever be tempted to get to this point, mark the eyelets, say, on the lining, and then punch them at the same time?
No.
Okay, that was a good
And I'll tell you for why, because I did that last time. Right. And anyone that watched the show last time would know that was not the right thing to do. So basically what happens is the eyelet tool, this has got the different pieces in it at the moment, the bits to actually do the eyelets. To cut out the holes, you want to try and use just single thickness fabric, and I was trying to use quite a thick fabric, and I was trying to cut 2 layers, and it became quite stiff and quite difficult to use. So I would suggest the best thing to do is to do thin layers wherever possible. So you want to be definite with your, when you actually push it down. Don't be a bit nervous about punching, really sort of punch it hard, because you want that kind of pressure in order to cut through the fabric. So I would say that this is a better way of doing it, doing 2 layers at a time, or 1 layer at a time rather. So we've marked all the way around there, and we're just going to stitch all the way around here now. And then after that, we're going to turn it around the other way, and we're going to start putting the eyelets in just a moment.
I hope you don't mind me keep asking questions, because I'm sure the questions I'm thinking, other people are thinking.
Yeah, definitely. No, ask away. Any question. We discovered last week that I've got an utterly useless mind full of useless information.
We all have. We all have.
Yeah, but I mean, mine really has no bearing on any kind of help. There was a book that I read years ago, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's basically, I think it's called Growing Up Again or something like that, about a girl who goes back in time to when she was 14.
Oh, right.
And she sort of she's trying to work out why she's been sort of sent back to live her life. And she's desperately trying to remember how to get some money. She's thinking, oh, I can't remember any football matches in the last 20 years where I could place a bet on, or a Grand National winner or anything like that. Yet weirdly, she remembers, it's not Back to the Future, that weirdly, oh, it's Plots Off, yeah, it's very similar. But then weirdly, she just says she can't remember any of that, but she can remember Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in German.
Oh, fair enough.
Random. And I have so much affinity with her, because I think that would be what happened to me. Go back in time, have the opportunity to become a multi-billionaire with all my knowledge, and only remember show tunes in other languages.
Did you ever see the film, that one of the Beatles one?
Oh, yes.
What it's called.
Is it called Yesterday? Was it called Yesterday? Yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed that. Where he went
back in time, or where he woke up one day and nobody remembered anything, no one knew anything about the Beatles except him.
Yeah. Oh, there's a handful of people, aren't there, that remember. But I really enjoyed that film, and it's very similar to this book. It's got a very similar feel. Might have even been written by the same person. Right, so we stitched all the way around there. Again, if I had crimping shears, I would cut those around there just to tidy up those edges, but I haven't got those today, but so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to give birth to the bag.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pull through that little gap.
This would be a lot harder if you had got wadding or batting
Yeah.
in it, wouldn't it?
It would do.
Oh, look at that.
And then we'll pop that. That's going to go inside like that. But we're going to stitch this up now. It's quite good being able to make a bag from start to finish, actually.
It is, isn't
Never
it?
get normally, you know, when it gets to this stage, I just go, oh yeah, I'll just sew that up later. But obviously, I can do that today.
You can. Susan's come back. She said, oh, thank you, Becky and Corrine. I will look at, oh, I haven't heard of this brand. Frister Rossmann. That's her
Oh,
sewing
I've not
machine.
heard of that either.
The oil apparently was a family-owned fine oil, no label other than the family business. So it didn't sound like it was branded with the sewing machine. It was from somewhere
Right.
else. So yeah, I would definitely go back to the sewing machine manufacturer. There you go. Tess says, my machine's 40 years old. I've never put oil in it. I would not know where. Oops. Maybe there's a manual somewhere. Oh dear. And Sarah Ibbotson said, thank you, Becky. I didn't realise about the maintenance of sewing machines. There you go.
Yeah, I just think
It's really useful because perhaps this is the bits that we, you know, when you're doing your sewing shows, we don't always have time to go into and things like
Well,
that. And
I mean, look, just now, my sewing machine just got all chewed up for no reason, no real reason. I was thinking you should treat it a little bit like a computer. You know, sometimes your computer just isn't happy, and you don't know why, and so you restart it, and
Yep.
it seems to be okay. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the sewing machine. I'm going to change the bobbin. The bobbin is running low on thread.
that
so I'm going to
often
change
is the case, isn't it?
sometimes, yeah. And I've got another bobbin which has got a bit more thread on it. So I'm just going to rethread my machine and see if it picks stuff up. But sometimes it's things like, you know, a little bit like your car. You know, if your car's not, no, the engine's not well oiled, it's not going to work properly. And the same with your sewing machine. There's lots of mechanics in your sewing machine, and you just want everything to be working properly. So making sure it's clean, giving it a bit of a brush. So you normally get a kind of brush with your sewing machine when you first get it. That is the thing to do to make sure it's all working nicely. That's fine. And then I just think it's a good way of keeping an eye on your machine and giving it like a regular little sort of regular facial.
Yeah, exactly as you said that, our Rachel says it's like servicing a car, really,
Yeah.
and that's just what you'd said, wasn't it? Shadaya says, I have the eyelet tool, yet still to practice how to use it. Get some scrap, I would say, get some scrap fabric. Don't be using it for the first time on your favourite project. Get a little bit of scrap, practice doing the holes, and then practice putting the eyelet rings in. Yeah.
My
it's definitely
top tip for this, the eyelet thing, is you've got a little screw down here.
Oh,
Make
just a minute,
sure
just a minute.
there's a little screw here, and that holds whatever piece. Because you've got two different types of things. One will cut a hole to create your eyelet, and one will press the eyelet metal pieces in place. This screw is what holds it in. Don't be lackadaisical with not tightening that up. Make sure that's nice and tight. That would be my top tip. And if you find that it's a little bit wobbly, just give these little screws a little bit of a tighten, just to make sure they're all nice and secure and keeping everything in. You can see that one has needed a bit of a tighten. Just keep everything nice in place, and just make sure I sort of press it a couple of times, making sure everything's working before I actually use it. That would be my top tip.
Excellent.
Right. So I didn't sew that very well, so I'm gonna have to do it again.
Did you miss?
Yeah, I did. Don't know what I was doing there. I was trying to stitch so close to the edge, I actually stitched off the edge. Never mind. I'm just going to stitch that hole up. Obviously, no one's going to see this anyway down here, apart from all the people that are watching on the television. You know what I mean? No one's going to see it 'cause it's going to be the inside of your bag. Right. Now I'm going to pop this in here. So we're just going to make sure that the lining goes inside the bag. Like that. You can see how that's coming together. Now I want to give this a press. I want to roll these seams here. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to use, I'd get a little bit of, use this wipe actually. I want to make my hands slightly damp. So you use a little bit of water, and I'm going to roll this seam so it's nice and popped out. See what I mean?
What you're
It's in
trying to
the
do,
right
you're
place.
trying to have blue showing or not showing?
Not showing really, because that's supposed to be the lining. So you can see here, if I just go like that, you'll end up with the fabric all sort of bunched up, because you've got a little bit of excess fabric in that seam allowance. So if I roll it with my thumb and forefinger, it settles down. Can you see how that's looking a bit different now?
Yeah.
So we'll want slightly damp hands. Can you see? It's disappearing now.
Should I says thank you for the top tips about the eyelet tool?
Around here, and do that a bit more. Let's give that a little wobble down here. Going all the way around. You see that sort of settles down a little bit now. And then we want to, you can either top stitch around here.
Yeah.
Just seeing if we've got enough. I think we've got time. We're going to top stitch around here and give it a nice finish off. And then we're going to put the eyelets in here.
Brilliant.
So I will.
That just holds everything in place, isn't it?
Yeah, and it gives it a good finish. It's what you should do. Now, as we all know, I'm really lazy. Stop laughing, James.
Stephanie has the eyelet
That was
tool.
Nicola. Take that back.
Stephanie has the eyelet tool too. She says she hasn't used it, but I know Becky showed last time how to make it work. Nothing like live TV.
No, absolutely.
Have you changed your stitch on your sewing machine at all today, or have you done the same sort of stitch all the way through?
I've made it slightly smaller. So earlier on today, I was using quite a long stitch. I was using a sort of 3.5 millimetre stitch earlier on, and I've moved it down to 2.5. Why was I doing 3.5 earlier? I can't remember what I was doing that for, but there was a reason for it.
Stephanie, just so you know, that pocket, Becky created it this morning using glitter paste. She's really admiring the fabric and thinks the pocket looks beautiful. It's all been done. It was just plain blue fabric first thing this morning, and Becky has decorated it.
I'm just top stitching around the outside here. Just stitch a little bit more, almost done with this bit now.
Oh, apparently we've got some pictures. They're busy sorting them out for us. Oh!
That's annoying.
Your thread run out.
Yes.
Oh, that's only just happened because I could see the white thread a minute ago.
Yeah, it's just the last half. Always the way. I don't know.
Did your bobbin run out?
Yeah.
And you thought it was a bobbin with plenty in?
No, it was a bobbin with a bit in. I will definitely, after this bit, have to put this.
Top up your bobbin.
Wind the bobbin up.
Wind your bobbin up.
Wind your bobbin up. I've lost that little piece of fabric that I used.
What's that song, Nicola? It's one you sing with your children. Wind your bobbin up, wind your bobbin up, pull, pull, pull. Point to the ceiling, point to the floor, point to the window, point to the door. Clap your hands together, 1, 2, 3. Now you place them on your knee. There you go. Nana has sung that one recently.
Have to excuse me a minute. My machine is unhappy.
Beeping.
Are you unhappy? Okay, I'm going to just fill up another bobbin because it's not liking this one.
Okay.
So 2 seconds. This is the problem with live TV and a sewing machine. It's like working with children and dogs. That's what I reckon.
Did you say something about some pictures, Nicola? Sorry. Oh, they're just sorting them out. Oh, you see, Rachel sings wind your bobbin up different. She says pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. There you go. I can't remember what I said, but yeah, there we go. Stephanie was thinking it was glitter paste. Beautiful. Years ago, I had some of the fabric paste in my stash from Crafter's Companion. Probably still have them. There you go. Oh. Yeah. There we are. So, absolutely gorgeous. We are loving that. Oh, you're singing now over there, aren't you? You singing?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I'm not singing.
You're not
Oh
singing.
no, what happened to my bobbin?
Hello! Has it dropped in the bin?
No, I think my bobbin's fallen into my bin.
Have you not got another bobbin? Should we have a quick break while Becky locates her bobbin? Would you like a quick break, Becky? Would it take the pressure off?
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay, right. What are we going to have a quick break on?
Make it a surprise.
You can have a look. I'll ask Becky a quick question while they're working out the video. Becky, do you think glitter paste would work on the Crafter's Companion leatherette material? The leatherette material I've got under the counter just here. Do you think?
Shall I give it a whirl?
We'll have a go
I'll
for
give it
you,
a whirl
Tess.
in a bit.
We'll have a go in a little bit, Tess, and see if that works. There you go. Good question. And we are live and interactive. Okay, we're going to do a quick break all about Crafters TV.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
Feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Hi, I'm Ben from Crafters TV. As you may know, we've just launched an amazing new website. Our new home of papercraft to house all of your crafty needs. And as we've had a bit of a makeover, I'm here today to help you add those crafty goodies to your basket and check out. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. First, head on over to the Crafters Companion homepage. Select the correct geographical location at the top of the page. Next, log into your My Crafters account. Explore the site and products using the navigation bar at the top of the screen. When you find the product you want, add to your basket by clicking the Add to Basket button. You'll then have the option to view your basket or continue shopping. If you want to check out, click View Your Basket. Here you can see the list of items you've added along with the order summary on the right-hand side of the screen. This is also where you'll see your loyalty discount. And just remember, the price you're seeing at this stage is excluding any delivery charges. This will also be your opportunity to add any discount codes you may have. Simply type in the code, hit apply, and if your code is valid, you should see the correct amount of discount deducted from your order total. Once you're happy to go ahead with your order, click the Proceed to Checkout button in the summary box on the right-hand side of your screen. If you want to use ShopPay, PayPal or Google Pay, you can select the relevant option under Express Checkout and you'll be given instructions on how to check out. If you have a gift card, you can enter the code on the right-hand side of the screen and press Apply. You should see the correct amount of discount deducted from your total. If you'd like to pay by card, the details linked to your account should appear in the relevant fields. If these aren't showing, you'll need to fill out the correct details. When you've entered your payment information, click the Continue to Shipping button at the bottom of the screen. Select your preferred shipping option, click Continue to Payment. Here you can enter your card details or select ShopPay, PayPal or ClearPay. Next, make sure the correct billing address is entered under the billing address section, or if this is the same as your shipping address, then you'll have the option to select it. Click Pay Now, and that's it. You'll be taken to a thank you page with an order number, and you'll also receive a confirmation email with the details of your crafty purchase, which will be on its way to you very soon.
Hello and welcome back. Gosh, we've got 13 minutes left of this show. Where does time go? It flies past. Thank you for all your interaction today. We are loving it. That's what these shows are around. And I hope some of what Becky has done today has inspired you to get out some of your crafty stash that I'm sure you have got in a cupboard, behind the sofa, under the bed, wherever that box is stored, and get doing some sewing. Right now, our Nicola said I've got a couple of photos or pictures to show you. Oh, look at this. I'm loving this. Ah, these are the ragdoll outfits from Sarah, and Nicola says, please can you make them in her size, please? I love that. That is really cute. I love the little shirt to go under the dungarees. Absolutely gorgeous. And here we are, the little ragdoll.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Got her. I love the little red shoes. Those are so cute. Lovely. So are those kits that we sell?
Yeah, they're templates that we've got. We launched them not that long ago, actually. They're absolutely beautiful. I think they're going to be a really big thing for Christmas, I have to say.
Yes, I can see that. You can make them sort of like so personalised, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. Thank you, Sarah, for sending those. Rhonda Crawley sent in, look at that quilt. Wow, there's a lot of work gone into that. I'm loving that. Love that. I'm just quickly trying to scan. They are, every one of those patterned squares, diamonds, whichever way you want to look at it, is different. That is amazing. And I'm sure Becky could tell you all the different things that you've got going on there. I don't know. I just know it looks pretty.
It does look lovely, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Loving that. It looks like a bit of a duck egg blue, then with sort of a pinky purple and navy blue. Lovely.
Yeah, that's really nice. Like that a lot.
We are liking that. Thank you so much. Yeah, and if you've got anything else you want to share with us, sewing, bag related, or even any crafts related, you know, it could be a paper bag. Oh, paper bag. Peg bag, I would say.
I thought you said a paper bag.
Paper bag, a bag made from paper or car. There we go. Paper craft. Yeah, because we do a lot of paper craft here. Right, Becky, you look very busy. Where are we up to?
I'm always busy, always busy. Right, now we need to put the eyelets in. So I'm just finding a place to start. So you can see you've got your holes here, your gaps here. And then you've got your eyelets. This is the outside of your eyelet, and then you've got these little like washers that are going to go on the other side. So what we want to do is we want to flip it over. So we're going to pop it into this little machine. So basically, the outside of your eyelet is going to go into here. Oh, she says, like that. It's going to go into that part there, and then you press down with the washer, and it will seal it all in place. So I'm going to pop that there first of all. I want to put the eyelet into my fabric, and then I want to put the washer over the top.
Ah, yeah.
Like that. So like this.
So that's going to catch all the little raw edges and everything through there.
Keep it all in place. So we just want to, do you know what, it's one of those things, it just takes a little bit of time getting it in the right place. Like that. We'll put the eyelet around the right way, Becky. And then we're going to pop that through here. I'm going to press that down. And then you've got your little eyelet there. So we're just going to do I'm just going to do the same thing, working my way around the bag.
So we sell the tool and the eyelets, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Yeah,
we do.
I've seen them. I've got it here. Yeah, so if anybody is fascinated by this, and you get different colours of all your eyelets.
Yeah, so I'm using the bronze ones at the moment, but you've got silver and you've got like a brass colour.
I like the bronze.
Gold.
They're quite classy, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
A bit more stylish. A bit sophisticated. You even get your little screwdriver to type. I like how it all comes in a little box.
Yeah.
So you know where everything is.
Yeah, it makes it nice and easy.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really useful.
And they're all 12 mil, so you've got your gold, silver and brass is what it says, yeah. That's a nifty little kit. So go and have a look on our website if you fancy getting one of those. I like that, that's good. There we go.
So it just takes a little bit of titivating to get it in the right place. Because
yes, but you're trying to do it so that everybody can see as well, which is...
I mean, if I was doing it at home, I'd be doing like this.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to sort of hold it out a little bit. So you're popping that one in, putting that over the top. When I was working here earlier, I was thinking, gosh, I'm getting really hot. And I thinking, oh, well, maybe I'm coming down with something. And I realised it's because I've got the iron on underneath the table. So the table's getting quite warm.
Is it blasting out round your ankles?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I did notice when I came in that you can smell the heat from the iron.
Can you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's
not
easy
a problem.
doing that way.
It's just what it is.
Like that. Oh, that's run the wrong way, Becky. Just fiddle that round. Turn that round that way.
Get it the right way round.
There we go.
Oh, perfect.
So we're just working our way around. You can see how they're going. I'm just going to continue with those as I go round here. And then afterwards, we are going to thread this through all these little pieces, and that's going to finish off our bag. So I'll just carry on and do that.
That was brilliant, brilliant. Yeah. Stephanie is saying, beautiful projects. The last big item she sewed was converting her daughter's wedding gown into a first communion dress for her granddaughter.
That's nice.
Quite some responsibility there, isn't there? Yes.
So I remember my mum telling me that she made her wedding dress into a little fairy outfit for my sister. There was 18 years between me and my sister, and I still am quite bitter about it.
Are you?
Because, yeah, I didn't get to see my mum's wedding dress. Whereas
Did you see the fairy outfit?
Yeah, I've seen a photo of it, but never... No, my sister was just a toddler when she had it, so she didn't have it, when I was born. But I've put my daughter in my wedding dress, and my daughter's very thin, and I was much more svelte when I was younger. And
another good word for today.
Yeah. And then my daughter was like, oh, how do you breathe in this? She was like, it's so small. And I was like, see, this is what happened. This is what happened. I had you too, and you ruined my body. And I was fit before, and I'm not anymore. But yeah, I think it's lovely to be able to make your wedding dress into something or use it, because we don't use it, do we? We tend to put them away and not touch them again.
I borrowed my wedding dress.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Beautiful wedding dress.
Yeah, it sounded lovely.
I didn't have to then.
I think you showed me pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I borrowed my wedding dress and I lent off my aunt a gorgeous crocheted full-length cape in cream, which was really, really nice. So yes, that was really good. There we go.
It's such an expense, isn't it, a wedding dress? But I do love mine. When I get married again, I'll...
When you get married again, okay.
Yeah. Actually, my favourite thing was my crown that I wore when I got married.
Yes.
I loved my crown.
I like your crown because it's a small crown, isn't it? It's just a little round. Reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, the Queen.
Yeah, yeah, it does. What, the Wicked Queen with the really big head?
Queen of Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to call her the Queen of Hearts. I'm not going to say the Wicked Queen, the Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Yes.
Right, let me just do this one. You can see what we're doing here. It's just, like I say, it's a little bit fiddly. Just getting them in place, trying to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. If I was doing it, as soon as the cameras are off me, it takes no time at all for me to do these.
It does, it does.
But at the moment, I'm just fiddling around, trying to get that. There you go.
Stephanie says, talk about nerve-wracking. It's, oh yes, that nerve-wracking, that was doing her daughter's dress. Certainly was. Lynn, while you're doing that, I'm going to totally distract you for just for a minute. Lynn Blackledge was saying, I was discussing bag making with a local charity.
Oh, okay.
And they said, is there one for a bag that hangs on a walking frame? Oh, can you think of any of our bags that we do that could be adapted? Because that could be really useful, couldn't it?
I mean, I think these ones,
or maybe that one could, if you put 2 handles on it, couldn't you? Where am I?
Look at this one. This one here. This one here is one of the backpacks here.
Yes.
So it's like a drawstring with a backpack. So you could make that, you can make these straps a little bit smaller, and then yes, they could. You could then have that on a walker, because that could attach to the front of the walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be something you
but
could
even
do.
this one that you've just done,
Yeah.
if you put 2 straps on it instead of 1,
Yeah.
because we've got one strap that goes that way. So if you put a strap there and then a strap there, so you've got a strap on either side. It would hang on hooks on a walker, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I think this one would do. But yes, definitely that one. I bet drawstring shoulder bag. I'm sure if you did some clever adapting of that, you could. It's all about the straps, isn't it? It's the straps that's key when you're doing something like a walker. But I do appreciate. I've seen people put bags on their walkers, and it is something that is very, that people like to do, because obviously if you're using your walker, you've got limited hands available, haven't you? So yeah, have a look, and I'm sure a lot of the bags could be adapted. I'm sure they could.
I think so, and I think, if you've got something that's more sort of rucksacky, that's probably going to be better than a kind of shopper, because you've got those different straps on there. I'm just trying to get those last couple in. I've got 3 more to do, and then we can thread everything through.
I went to see my niece last week, and she's just had a baby, 7 weeks, and she had a very nice pram, but she had a backpack, and it was on her back. But then at the side of the backpack, the straps were 2 little straps. And when she got the pram out of the car, there was just 2 little special hooks on the pram, and it hooked on. So it pulled it nice and tight across the handle.
Oh, that's a clever idea.
Yeah, and hooked on there. So that was just a backpack, and it just, as long as it had the hooks on the frame, it hooked up. So yes.
Lots of options there. There's bound to be something to make it work.
There is.
So I've done my strap here to go and thread through. So I'm just going to put that through here, and then back and forth.
Lois says, I'm not a seamstress, but I enjoy the process. Yep, it's about doing something a little bit different, isn't it?
I think, we show you snippets of making bags, but we've never had the opportunity to sort of show you a bag properly on the whole. And this one, I haven't cut everything out from scratch.
No.
And I think I did stitch the straps together as well. But on the whole, you are seeing this made today.
It's a bit like a craft along, isn't it?
It is a bit like a craft along. So there we go. There is our little bag.
Becky, I am absolutely loving that. And I love that it's got a nice flat bottom.
Everyone likes a flat bottom.
Flat bottom to be, so these things can hang and sit in there nicely. That looks lovely. And that glitter paste on the front pocket.
It works, doesn't it?
Really, really works. I was having a look while you were doing, and Mod Podge type products. There is a Mod Podge for fabric. And I think if you went over it with Mod Podge, it would work as well. There you go. So there we are. Who's enjoyed that? Who's enjoyed watching that with Becky? That's absolutely gorgeous. Your bag is beautiful, Becky. Thank you, says Lois, which is lovely. And we think it is too. That's going to be your demo of the day, I think.
Do you reckon? Well, it's the only demo I've done so far.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was thinking.
Well, we're going to have a few. Well, we're going to have another demo later.
Yeah. Have you got another stencil, and have you got some of the leatherettes? Because if we've got time to put some on now, then when we come back in an hour's time, we can see how it's dried.
Yes, give me 2 seconds.
You've got 2 minutes.
And I will actually do it on a bit of velvet as well, so we can see what it's like on velvet.
So this is from Tess. Tess said, about half an hour ago, Becky, do you think glitter paste would work on the Crafter's Companion leatherette material? So we're going to take it to put it to the test, and we're going to test it out on leatherette and velvet. Felt, did you say, or velvet?
Velvet. I can do felt as well.
Oh, we're going to do them all. We're going to do them all. And then when we come back in an hour, they'll have had time to dry, and we can see which is wearing the best and have a look at that. So there you go. If you've got any more questions, we're all about being interactive today. So please put through your comments and questions. Hopefully we've tried to answer them as we've been going along. Should I love the bag, Becky? Thank you. Yeah, lots of love for that.
Good.
Okay. Right. Have you got everything you need? Have you got your glitter paste?
I have.
Have you got a stencil?
I have.
Have you got your palette knife?
I have.
You're ready to go then.
I know. Right, we'll use the smaller one.
Oh, you've even got your stencil cleaned up.
Yeah, I know. I'm amazed at myself.
Wow.
I was quite impressed with myself. Love, Becky, you're amazing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be quite so shocked.
No, it's fine. I was as well. It's absolutely fine. So we've got 3 different bits of fabric here. Let's put them. Let's use this stencil on there.
Oh, good choice there.
I'm going to tape this down. I'm going to tape it down this way. Will I take the life out of this? Yes, I will. You know there's that Spice Girls song, Spice Up Your Life?
Yeah.
It's going to tape up your life for me. Party people of the world, tape up your life. Right. Tape here. Tape here. So the first one is on some felt.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, we're going with the gold.
And we're using, this is 100% acrylic felt, which is what most felt is, but you can get expensive felt, which will be wool.
Yeah.
It would work in the same way.
I love using wool felt for making flowers, but by me it's expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap, is it?
No. 40% wool. 40% wool is lovely, but
what kind of flowers do you make with it? What kind of flowers do you make?
Rolled flowers.
Rolled flowers?
Yeah, so like a circle, and then you'd cut it out, and then you'd roll it up, and it makes a lovely flower. Yeah, all sorts of flowers are made with felt. Lovely, make lovely sort of like brooches, hair accessories, all sorts. I'd look more like, I wouldn't be as tempted to use them on card making because they're a bit heavier.
Yeah.
So they're more standalone type items, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks lovely.
Okay, that's the one on. Oh, that looks quite cool, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Right. And then we're going to do a little bit of this.
And what's that one?
This is your leatherette, or your faux leather. Where can I put that? So I'm going to get mucky. Bit of tape.
I think the heat of the studio, it'll be dry in 10 minutes. It's very warm. Imagine once these were all done, stitch them together, and you get a lovely panel with.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That looks amazing, wouldn't it?
Going on, it goes on better on the felt than it does here. So
better on the felt?
Yeah, it went better on the felt.
I would have too, Nicola. Nicola and I both thought the leatherette would take the glitter more easily.
I think what's happening is, because this is quite, the felt is quite, not really porous, but it's got a texture to it, whereas this is very smooth.
Yeah.
It slides off a little bit. So it may just be the fact that I've been used to doing it on the felt, and I'm being a bit
heavy-handed. Is it always coming back off as you're scraping?
Yeah, can you see down here, even though I'm keeping it flat, it's moving slightly. But I think that's okay.
You just have to adjust your technique, I think, to
so,
the type of fabric that you're using. But oh my goodness me, it looks amazing.
That does look
wow,
good,
doesn't that look expensive?
Yeah, that does look good.
Wow.
And then
what are we on now?
This is a bit of velvet. Now it's not stretchy velvet, but it does have a bit of a stretch to it.
Right.
So I'm going to have to be quite gentle putting this in, because obviously it's going to pull a little bit when we're stretch it out a little bit, maybe. Let's pop that on there. I love the fact we're able to do this.
Yeah.
You know, people ask and you're able to give it a whirl.
This is what how it should be. It's all about, you know, showing how the products work. And if it doesn't work, it's about saying, actually, I wouldn't try that.
Absolutely.
It does look nice, but it does look nice on the leatherette. But as Becky said, it's harder to apply. But I suppose if it's yeah. Our Nicola says it's worth the extra effort for the look. How's that going on there? Is that going on? Is that going on better because it's absorbent again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you just got to be. I think you've got to be with this, because this is very absorbent. I would suggest that you want to try and be as quick as possible with this one.
All right.
Because you want to get that stencil off, not to allow any of it to sort of seep underneath.
Right. Yeah. This is where I'd be using my sticking spray. Oh wow!
Look at that! Wow, that does look really good. I'm just going to put this in the bucket of doom, otherwise known as our stencil bath. The bucket of doom. It's not. It's just a small tray, but they look quite good, don't they?
They look brilliant.
Let's we'll dry those and see how they look later on. Because yeah, I mean, I think that one on that leatherette would be quite nice as like a bookmark.
Oh yes.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would look brilliant, wouldn't it?
It'll be interesting to see once they've dried how they move.
Yes.
Whether they
Flexibility.
crack. Yeah, all that sort of thing. So we'll leave them to dry and we'll have a look at those in the later show.
Brilliant, we're loving that. Susan Griffiths says, thank you, Corrine and Becky, for an enjoyable show. Well, thank you for watching. If you weren't watching, we wouldn't be able to do this. And Tess says, wow, I'm definitely going to give this a go on some presents I'm planning. Thank you. There you go. We are loving this. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it really interesting. So we have another show coming up in an hour's time, an hour and 8 minutes. It's Monday Makers, and it's still going to be all about bag making. I'm looking at all the bits I've got down here. I've got lots of bits up there. If there's anything you want to know, then please drop us a message. Drop us a message either now quickly or at the beginning of the next show so that we pick that one up. And we will try to be interactive again and do that one. Like we said, lovely Becky has made that a beautiful bag all the way through today. Oh, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?
What are you doing now? I thought quickly I would show how I put a zip in.
That would be brilliant.
So I just...
I'll stop waffling and let you show.
We've got a few minutes left, haven't we? So I thought I'd do that. I'm just going to trim this piece of fabric and give it a quick iron, which I've now unplugged, which is very
When you put a zip in, do you put it in before you construct or after you construct?
It depends. It really depends on what you're making. So a lot of time with bags, we put the zip in as one of the first things. So you put the two sides and the two pieces of lining in the zip together, and then you create the bag around the outside. But the bag I'm going to make later on, you sort of do it part the way through. So it's good to show you sort of different options. But what we're going to do is I use glue for my zips. I think I should just be known as Becky Glue, because that's what I like to do. I like to use some glue. I'm just going to trim this off so we've got a nice piece of fabric. I just think it's very underrated using a bit of glue to put everything together.
Yeah. It's a bit different, but it's good to see.
So I'm going to be using some of our zips on a roll that you should be able to find on the website, which are absolutely invaluable. I never realised how much I needed them until I came here. Because
Had you ever seen the concepts before?
I think I'd heard of them, but I just sort of thought, sounds like a load of old rubbish to me. I didn't realise they were going to be so useful, but actually they are really invaluable. It's because you can never find the right length zip in the right colour, as far as I'm concerned. So you get 5 metres. Do I know a song? I could make one up about zips on a roll. Zips on a roll.
I was going to say, I better know the tune. I better know the tune.
She's just not going to. She's not going to join in, is she? So you get, I think, 5 metres of zippage and 10 pulls. So we're going to put zippage. It is zippage. Now I'm just going to trim that off here.
So, right, your little zip is in the middle.
Yeah.
So when you open it one way, it'll open, and when you go, my mind's blown.
Right, don't worry, it's fine. Look. It's just like that for the moment. And then when I unzip it later, it'll unzip.
How did that not unzip?
Because I'm magic.
You're magic, okay.
I'm magic, is what I am. I'm magic. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. And I'm using a zip a little bit bigger than my actual piece of fabric, just to make it nice and easy for you. So let's pretend this is my zip. This is my lining fabric, this is my outer fabric. So what I want it to do is, I want my zip to go like that, so I've got fabric on either side, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm just doing one side, so it's almost like a lining fabric. So I want my fabric facing upwards, with a pattern facing upwards, and I want my zip facing down, like that.
Lots of love coming in for the zips on a roll.
Oh, good. I'm going to leave that just to the side, so just on the edge here.
All right.
And then I'm going to put my other piece over the top like that. So I'm sandwiching, the fabric in between the zip.
Okay.
Now, the way that you could do it is by putting pins here, but you've also got to make sure you've got pins here to keep everything nice and straight. And I think that's too much of a fiddle. So I think I'd much rather get a bit of glue.
Is it like our tacky glue and tacked really quickly?
Yeah, it is. I think it's so useful. Honestly, never realised how useful it would be. So we're just going to, and it doesn't gum up your machine. So you couldn't use the Kalal tacky glue or any of those other glues because they're not made for going through the machine. But you can absolutely use this one. So it's just. It's under textile glue. Sorry, textile glue, not fabric glue. And then I'm going to do the same over the top of the zip here.
So we're sewing on the same side of the zip at the moment.
And we're going to pop that over the top here. Now the good thing about this is when you're using cotton fabric and you're sewing a zip, sometimes your cotton fabric stretches a little. So even if your 2 pieces of fabric are exactly the same, once you start stitching it together, sometimes one piece will get a little bit wider, a little bit longer than the other. It doesn't happen so much with this. Now I am still using my zip foot on my machine. So I'm going to pop that over here. And I'm just going to stitch around this outside of this.
What was that this time? That was
nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing.
So have you been using your zip foot all day?
No, I just popped it on.
God, you're fast, aren't you?
Oh, hold on a minute. Sewing machine's not happy. Give me 2 seconds. Right. There we go, right. So just butting up that foot up against there.
It's quite handy, isn't it? Because it acts as like bumper bars.
Yeah. And then, when I open up this, and I fold that round, you can see I've created that first side. So I've got a lining, and I've got that other side here. But I've not had I've not fiddled around with the pins, which I would have to do if I was going to be doing it ordinarily. So if I was doing it ordinarily, to quickly show you, I would be going like that. We're trying to line this up, and I'll be trying to line this up over the top of here, trying to line those two pieces like that, trying to get little pins or clips in the right place. And then obviously as you're stitching, you're having to take them away. And as far as I'm concerned, it is much easier to eliminate that by using a little bit of glue in there just to hold that together.
I think we're all a convert. Fabric glue is definitely, not fabric glue, textile glue is definitely the way to go. Right, we are just about to run out of time. The lights are going to go off in 20 seconds. So please come back and join us at 6 o'clock when Nicola's put another coin back in the meter. And we've got lights again. No, I'm only joking. Please come back. It's the final show all about bag making today. So please come back. It's going to be lots of fun and we'll see you in an hour. Goodbye.